So I'm sitting here at the GDC with Lorne Lanning of Oddworld Inhabitants, and, well, first of all, Lorne, what you're doing here?
We still have our fingers in games. We're not running a game studio anymore. We didn't want to do that, but we're making films right now. As we still hold on to the game licensing for those films, we have to make sure that the games are going to get treated well and be what we would like them to be without having to build them completely ourselves. We signed a film development deal. We're in active development right now on our new universe, which is called Citizen Siege. And Citizen Siege is scheduled to be an all-animated, computer-animated action political thriller. It's a little bit of sci-fi. And it's kind of intense, so it's much more mature than we would expect for animated films out of America today. So it'll probably be PG-13, but it'll have a lot of intensity that we're familiar with from more live-action films. It's not the quirky Oddworld sensibility. It's an entirely different universe. I mean, it's pretty intense. It's dark and uplifting for dark times that need hope.
For someone who's played the Oddworld games, what kind of elements would you recognize in this new universe?
On the surface, just attention to detail. I mean, hopefully really quality final delivery on what we're doing. That's what it's all been about for us. So you could say, very tight packages like we used to make in the other games. Largely the subject matter, meaning the subtext, the influential material, the inspiration that created Oddworld is very similar to the inspiration that's creating Citizen Siege's universe, except it's more relevant to exactly today and what's going on today on the political landscape, geographically, on the world scale. And it's sort of a menacing view of a possible future.
The game industry lost a little bit when you moved away from it. Do you feel, is there someone who's like picking up the torch?
It's not fair for me to really say I don't see it happening because I'm not looking that closely right now. I'm really busy with the film projects. But I know that there's a lot of aware, intelligent people in the development community. But there is not many projects that I'm aware of that are very sensitizing in their material, that are very insightful in their material. I think, with rising costs of development systems, incredibly high costs for game development, and middleware solutions that are lending themselves towards shooting and violence only, then I think, we're going to see a lot more of that. So as far as I'm aware, I haven't really seen much that's sort of inspiring on that level, but it doesn't mean great games aren't being built. We were kind of unique in the game industry in that I didn't care about making any entertainment if it's not going to be what I care about in life, and so to separate the two is something I'm not interested in. And I know a lot of people in the game industry would like to be doing more material like that, but I think they're finding it very challenging to get financing for it. Independent games, you had some really cool stuff like Darwinia, a couple of years ago that was just wow, people just loved it. And I think games like that, they inspire in different ways, with what we'll see with other games that are coming out that are enabling people to have more control over the world they influence, like Spore, things like that. But there's no direct sort of subtext messaging in them as much as they're enabling people to have more personal power. And I think that's a really positive trend as well. Citizen Siege was actually designed as a game and movie at the same time. But we chose not to start it as a game because we wanted to control the film. You're not going to find game publishers today that are willing to finance your game that's a new property and spend all that money to get it out there, but then let you go off with the film rights. But that's what we wanted. So we go, okay, then we'll just go get the film first, and then we'll come back later and we'll talk about the game after we have the marketing commitment on the film. And that's actually an extremely risky strategy. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. You have to be fairly insane to take that path, but that fits us perfectly. So we head on that path, and then we actually have been having a lot of success on that new frontier. But coming from the game industry, I think we might be very early people that are making this transition, but there's a lot of talent in the game industry that I firmly believe will be making that similar transition in the years to come. And in the meantime, I still want to be designing the macro concepts of game experiences, but I'd like them I like the freedom of being able to go to the different game companies in the world and see who has the best for which project, and really try to match that together, and really try to match the synergy of a great property launched as really great, unique experiences in each medium, and not just led in one medium like a movie or game and then blindly licensed with mediocrity coming out in the other mediums. So being passionate about films, games, and television, then that's a lot of our ambition and challenge now, is how to really birth properties that just play well on all of those fronts.
Where would you say you are with Citizen Siege, the game? Are you on what level are you? Are you finding a partner or?
No, we have no. We are not actively pursuing partners until we have the marketing commitment on the motion picture. The game industry is kind of unique in how it works, and the game industry loves to have and follow on the marketing of films, because films usually have more marketing dollars behind them, and that's how you're really penetrating brand awareness into the world audience. You can't blame a game publisher for wanting to be very onerous over new IPs if they're having to finance that. But at the same time, that's not very incentivizing to the creators, and we're all about the creators. The people that distribute the experiences we make, okay, but we're about the creators. We're about the creative forces, the artists, the designers, those that probably would treat their franchises a lot better than the corporate bureaucracies that tend to, just try to milk them on whatever fronts are possible. So with that sort of agenda and that strategy for us, it makes a lot of sense to not secure any other deals until the biggest deal is secured first, and then the others are a lot easier. The big deals, it's all happening.
Yeah.
So that's for Citizen Siege, and then hopefully we'll have positive news on the Oddworld film.
Yeah.
Which is, we've been in talks about, and then we've got some other projects happening too that integrate, game technology and linear entertainment, episodic entertainment. So we hope to have various announcements on various fronts shortly, but we definitely wanted to close the gap between the film world and the gaming world and the game technology applied to other forms of entertainment. So there's a lot of exciting things there, and I'm sorry I can't bring that many more details to them, but it's going great.
Okay. I'd like to thank you for your time.
Hey, my pleasure.
Great to meet you.
Great to see you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.